breakthrough episode, whatever this one is. Last time we talked about, a couple episodes ago, about the sort of 4 things Ben Settle talks about all the time. He's an email marketing guy. And he talked about like kind of the 4 things to get yourself a nice little successful online business going. Just do these 4 things. And so we're going to kind of break down, next couple minutes here, we're going to break down the first step of that. Kind of overviewed it last time. And let me go into that. It's Taco Tuesday. So I just got my tacos stuff in there. And a quick little tip here for you. Always have lists. Just have lists. I was like walking around the grocery store like, ooh, do I have this? Do I have that? I just whipped out my phone on Evernote where I got the list of the taco ingredients. I'm like, yep, got that. Okay, good. I'm good to go. Instead of like, all right, what else do I need? So nothing beats the list, just like checklist. Nothing beats as far as like saving your brain, saving kind of work, thinking type work. Here's an interesting place I'm going right by right now. This is a real estate place right next to the kind of in the middle of sort of nowhere. Anyways, okay. Ben Settle talked about it. Number 1, it was go to hot market. 2 is offer. Shoot, what was number 2? Hot market. Ask them what they want, and see what else is. I guess along the lines of step 2 is see what is. Find or create what they want. Ask them what they want. Find or create it. And step 3 is build a list. Build the sales pages first. 4 is go ahead and build that list. And then 5 is email that list every single day. Send them to that sales page. Boom, 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 boom. And I really like that kind of nice little 5-step formula. It includes a lot of it. Obviously, there's a lot more to it, but it kind of grazes what you're supposed to be doing, and it kind of keeps things simple as well. So number 1, we're going to talk about going to the hot markets. And Russell Brunson talks about this all the time. Stephen Larson talks about this all the time with the red ocean. Red ocean is where there's a lot of competition, where there's a lot of money getting tossed around, a lot of spent. And it's kind of like have I talked to you about the red ocean, blue ocean? Have I talked to you about that before? Do you know about that? All right, let me talk about that for the next couple minutes, and then we will jump into the hot markets. Answer that question. So what happens is in business, Jaws was actually a business movie without even realizing it. And Jaws, remember the poster of Jaws where Jaws is like, he's going up. There's that little swimmer at the top, like swimming like that, and then Jaws is like, and in business, Jaws is the businesses. Jaws are like the sharks. The little swimmer is like the customer. And they're like, let me go eat those. Let me go eat them. And I call it the angelic Jaws secret, because Jaws wanted to eat his customer, like that. And like, hopefully as a business, you don't want to eat your customers, you want to save them. So hence the angelic Jaws. So what is happening is Jaws had the whole entire ocean to himself. He had himself a nice little blue ocean. That's the only customer in his ocean. And what happens is other sharks kind of like, oh, look at that. He's got all that to himself. Let me go in there. And so the other sharks start showing up, and they start going after that one customer. And they start trying to eat the customer. And I call it going after him. And what ends up happening is, before long, there's so many sharks in the ocean that no longer are the sharks so much worried about the customer. Sharks are now worried about what the competition's doing, what the other sharks are doing. So they start fighting each other. They start start slinging mud, start arguing, start undercutting prices and mudslinging, and we're better, we're cheaper, we're faster, They're trying to shout louder than the other sharks to get noticed by this one little customer up there. Like, hey, notice me. And ooh, that's a very nice motorcycle. Ooh. we'll be buying ourselves a nice little hog before long, a nice little Harley before long. So just kind of keeping an eye out for what I'm going to buy. So anyways, so now the ocean is now red with blood. It's no longer blue. Jaws no longer has the ocean to himself. It's now red with blood because all the sharks are fighting each other. And so what you do as a beginning business owner in the entrepreneur journey, when you're kind of a sole proprietor, you're kind of solopreneur type of ish, maybe a small team, is a great place to start is to show up to the hot market where there's already lots of sharks going on. You show up to the red ocean. And what we'll talk about later in a bunch of episodes is creating your blue ocean out of this. You create so that's like a big market. And there's the three main markets. There's healthy, wealthy, and relationships. Health, wealth, and relationships. So things that have to do with the health and body, things that have to do with making money, and there's things having to do with relationships. So it's kind of like the three realms of it. And those are the three. At one time, the weight loss industry was its own blue ocean. The first person that was advertised weight loss. We're going all the way back to the days of 70s and 80s and the weight loss industry, Jazzercise and Weight Watchers and Nutrisystems, and the beginning days of the losing weight. Whoever was kind of the first to market like that was doing really, really good. And so what you do is you kind of go to where these hot markets are, where there's a lot of money. Of those three, where there's a lot of money getting thrown around, where there's a lot of sharks, because you want to go to where the money's at. It's Tim Ferriss talks about it all the time. He goes, it's a lot easier to meet demand where there's already demand, and you just kind of do things. You kind of pull a little stream of demand and pull it your way a little bit, and you create your own little blue ocean. Then it is to go out and create it. What's already selling, what's already people are convinced that they need to have, that they're already spending money on. So you kind of follow where the money's at. Does that make sense? So that's where we'll kind of enter today. Hot markets. So I like keeping an eye on where people are already spending money on, and where they're already convinced, they're already persuaded that they need this thing. So I don't have to persuade them that they have a problem, that they need a solution, that there is a solution, that the solution will work for them. Because it's a lot of work to do all that. It's a lot of heavy lifting in that person's brain to do all that. So let's go with, I'm driving a car right now. A great business to go in is there's already people selling cars. So you go into a hot market, so the buying cars market, and you go and you say, well, I like going after rabid buyers, super passionate. So you go after somebody that's super in love with Jeep. So I just become a Jeep salesperson, a Jeep car salesperson, or somebody that's super in love with 4-wheel drives or trucks. I'm in Wisconsin right now, so there's a lot of guys that are super in love with their trucks. So if I was to open up my own car dealership in this area here, I would open up my own truck dealership. Enough of this trying to be all things to everybody. So that would be my blue ocean, and I'd be the best in my area about selling trucks. You see what I mean? I don't have to sell somebody all over again that they should have a truck. Look at that, there's a truck right behind me right there. Isn't that cool? But stuff like that. There's I was talking about earlier, a motorcycle dealership. I can even, you just start narrowing it down in this hot market. So you just go to hot market. People are already super fired up. That's a Dodge truck. I don't have to, I could even narrow it down as far as not just trucks, but Dodge trucks or Ford trucks or Chevy trucks. People that are they gotta buy the newest Dodge truck. Okay? Follow me? Making sense? So that is what it's all about, to create out of a red ocean. You go and you create your own little blue ocean, your own little pond, and then you become the big fish in a little pond. And golf market, sports market. Let's say I was to open up my own sports coaching practice. I come from a little bit of a football background, so let's say I was a super awesome football coach, and I wanted to open up my own, instead of being a high school football coach, I would just show high school football players how to, I could be like high school, college, how to, like, let's say they're running backs, how to run the ball really, really good. So I would be like a high school football running backs coach for this area. And I would be the big fish in the pond. I'd be the only person. I would have my own place to myself. So like that football player or their parents, they don't really have to convince them. Like, it's already a hot market. People are already spending money to get better at a specific sport. Like, they already go to football camps, and they're already like spending money on how to run faster and how to jump higher and all that stuff. So you just kind of like go to where there's money already getting slung around. You do it. Down the road, if you want to create demand, like, it's kind of dangerous to like have an invention, to go into the invention route and like create something that's never like quite there already, that they don't know it's there. You'd rather go to where money's already getting spent, or there's other people that are already have a business, and you just kind of like narrow it down from there. Cool? It's a hot one. It's a cool one. And you, with choosing your red ocean that you go into first, of the health, wealth, and relationships, kind of go off of with yourself in mind as you are doing that. Like, where is, you kind of find like a nice little Venn diagram of the market and yourself. Market, offer, and yourself. Like, where can you, where there's market, opportunity, and then yourself. Of those three circles, you kind of like, you find it a little inside of it where there is, where you can kind of position yourself in there as. Okay? It is kind of having to do with, because it has to do with the you and what you can do, what you're an expert in, what you can go find the answer for, and go find the answer and go find the where there's opportunity and like your coaching, what you're good at, your skills, and all that. Wow, we could have gone on forever with that, but that's a good place to end it right there. Okay, Woke Warrior, it's all gonna be good for you. Reason I'm talking about this right now, I'm writing a book right now called The 69-Minute Workday. It's really good. It's really good. So as I'm talking to you like this, it helps kind of like simplify it, because there's just so much, and like condense the big ideas into like the critical stuff that you need to know to continue on. Red light, boom. So hopefully that was helpful to you. We will talk to you in the next one. If that was cool, you want to be subscribed, get notified when there's all sorts of new episodes coming out. Got any questions, go ahead and comment down below. Got any input like that, what you think about that, go ahead and comment down below, and we'll talk to you later. Love you, Woke Warrior. Go get them. Go keep kicking that fear in the balls, which will in turn unleash your greatness. Hold on, I wrote down the thing I'm supposed to say. You stay classy. This is my closing statement from now on. You always remember the last thing that you said. So you stay classy, Woke Warrior. Keep kicking that fear in the balls, which will unleash your greatness upon helping those you feel called to serve. We'll work on that. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.